keeps us from serving. What was it? It says this. It's reserve. I know it looks like reserve, like leftovers, but it's really reserve, okay? And this is the definition of reserve. And I want you guys to look at it because I think that we fall a lot into this. It says to keep back as for a future use or for a special purpose. To take God's gifts that he gives you and expects you to give freely and to hold them back, and you pick and choose. This is for the people that know that God has given them something. And they say, you know what? I like to serve at Christmas time because it's an easy time to give. I like to serve at Thanksgiving. Or I like to serve when people are watching me so I can get something out of it. I like to serve when there's a trip to another country. Then I'll serve. Call me up then for a special occasion. Here's the sad part about that. God has some harsh words for those people in this last parable I'm going to tell you. Jesus is telling the people of what Judgment Day is going to be like. He says that God is sitting on his throne and he's going through all the people who ever lived and he's dividing them like a shepherd, separating the sheep and the goats. And on the left side, he's sending all the goats, and on the right side, all the sheep. So you guys are goats. I'm sorry, just for the story. And you guys are sheep. Okay? And the master sits on this throne, and God looks over at him, and he says, sheep, you know what? You guys get ready for your reward that's been sitting and waiting for you since the beginning of time. And let me tell you why, though. Let me tell you why you're going to be a part of this reward. Because when I was hungry, you gave me something to eat. When I was thirsty, you gave me something to drink. When I was cold and I was shivering, you gave me some clothes. When I was in prison, you came to visit me. When I was homeless, you gave me a place to stay. And the sheep start saying, but when? When, God, did we see you? We remember serving, but surely I would have remembered you. And then God says this to them. Whenever you did this for the forgotten, for the people that were overlooked, for the people nobody else cared about, that was me. You were doing that for me. Then he looks over at the goats. And he says, hey, I got another story for you guys. He goes, get out of here, you goats. You smell, you stink. No, he doesn't say that. He says, get out of here. I have nothing to do with you. You guys are only fit for hell. And here's why. Because when I was hungry, you didn't feed me. When I was thirsty, you gave me nothing to drink. When I was homeless, you didn't care. When I was in prison, I just sat there waiting for you. And you know what they start saying? But when, God? When did we see you? And he says, you know what? When you did this to the forgotten, when you forgot about people and the overlooked and the downtrodden, when you did that to all those people, that was me. You did it to me. Now be gone. How many of us do that? We put limitations on our service. It's like we see the hungry, and we have one of those signs they have in 7-Eleven. We reserve the right to refuse service to anyone, right? We see the people that have no clothes and they're naked and they're cold, and we have that sign, no shirt, no shoes, no service, buddy. I'm going to keep on walking. How many times do we see that? We keep on reserving. You know what? When you're reserving your gifts that God gives you, you're not a servant at all. You know what you are? You're pretending to be the master. I'm in charge, God. I'll pick and choose when I think it's okay to serve. We sit there planning these great things. I'm going to make, you know what? I'll serve when it's big and it's glorious and not a minute sooner. Not a minute sooner. And we sit there and we walk by people in need every single day. Every single day. I know you guys have seen people in need. I know you've seen people in need. And you know what? To serve those people, it doesn't need a plan of action. You don't need to go home and start writing things down. How can I serve that guy I seen that was in need? Go up to him. A lot of us think here today that when we go to heaven, God's going to say, well done, my faithful servant. Just by happen chance. Knowing dang well you didn't do anything to serve. You didn't do anything. We got to stop that from happening. if you want to revolutionize this world, if you really want to change it for Jesus Christ, we have to do what he tells us to do. And it's simply serve. You're not going to go out there and be bold. I want you to go out there and get on your knees and say, what do you want? God, what do you want from me? I am ready to go and serve for you. I'm ready to do it. Now, I know you guys have been sitting in these chairs for a long time tonight. And you know what? You're going to have your chance to get up in just a second. I want Mark, if he can come up here and play some offering music, okay? Play an offertory music song for me, okay? I know we don't have an organ here, but you can get one by. But you know what we're going to do? We're going to pass around these offering plates. We're going to pass these around. And you know what? I don't want you to put a dime or a dollar into it. Don't do it. It's not what I'm asking for. All I want you to do is when you see this basket, I just want you to look into it. Just take a moment. Look into it and say, what do I have to offer? God, I know you've given me so much. What is it you want of me? We need to stop deserving, thinking we deserve anything, and realize that God gives us everything. We need to stop sitting on our assets, okay? We need to stop that and go out and use the gifts that God's given us. We need to stop picking and choosing when we want to serve. What I'm going to do is, when you get this basket, just look at it and think about how you can be serving.